So over the last couple of months, I've sailed my 12-metre Crowther catamaran from the very bottom of the east coast Australia all the way up to the very northern tip. We anchored at the beautiful Albany Island, beautiful anchorage. As the sun came up, we set off for this small little journey over to Cape York, the northernmost tip of mainland Australia, and then to our next destination, Thursday Island. Learning by Doing presents The Mad Dash. Watch us every Tuesday morning on YouTube. Join me and multiple crew members as I take our Crowther catamaran from Sydney, Australia all the way up around the top to Lombok in Indonesia. Made possible by our patrons. Thank you very much, you guys, and also our sponsors here on board for this trip. Thanks so much, guys. Cape York is the northernmost tip on the continent of Australia. You'd think that'd be a big deal, but both times I've been there, I've been pretty disappointed. You'd think someone would have gone to the effort of making a little statue or a little monument, pile of rocks, a cross for the Catholic people, I don't know, just something, but nothing. There's just a little signpost, to be honest. There's nothing really at all. You often see people standing there, they're probably thinking the same as me. Oh, well, we drove all the way up to here and that's it. It's a bit of a demoralising ending to the trip. For a four-wheel driver, it's a pretty long drive, and you just get there and all right, I guess we'll turn around and go home again. Anyway, that's how I felt when I went round there, and today when we sailed past, it was no different. You pass it, you tick off another thing off the list, and on you go. Nice bar with my little eye.
Yeah, it looks like...
From Cape York, there's only a couple of hours easy sail around the top of Horn Island over to Thursday Island, our next anchorage. Right, so we're anchored up here out front Thursday Island. It's a bit windy and there's a lot of current here. Yeah, it's not the best place to anchor, to be honest, but we're going to go to shore now and just get a few jerry cans of water and go to the supermarket and get some more fruit and veg and a bit of bread. So I think we'll go to shore and get the stuff, and then we might move over to Horn Island, the anchorage over that side. It's out of the wind at least. There's still a bit of current, but you won't have this slop and swell here. Lasted me 3 days. $9 for a loaf of bread. Crazy, yeah. Yeah, so after walking around this supermarket for 5 minutes, you can see the fruit and veg has been subsidised. That's more expensive than Brisbane or Sydney, but on par with Cairns pretty much. But everything else is just stupid. Look, the satay sauce, $7.17. Even a tiny can of tuna, $2.50. It's just craziness. I mean, I guess they got to ship it all up here. Nothing gets flown in here. It all comes up by barge from Cairns. So obviously the costs are a lot higher. Yeah, look, a small can of baked beans, $4 nearly. And they're about $1 in the big city. But I guess it makes sense. So fruit and veg, the healthy stuff that people hopefully should be eating, is subsidised and cheaper. But man, everything else is crazy. Look at this. A pie, a tinned pie. I've heard that quite nice, but $15 for a pie. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Anyway, we'll go and pay for this and get out of here. I'm only getting some mandarins and some bananas. Don't really need anything else. So the tap down by the jetty was free, so I filled up a few jerry cans. As I'm sailing these next legs by myself, I don't need that much water, so I think we got 100 litres and that's plenty. So we moved the boat over to Horn Island. This is a little channel on the northern edge of Horn Island. It's a couple of miles over to Thursday Island, and normally there's a current and wind ripping through there, so it's quite a long dinghy ride, but definitely was a better night's sleep here last night. And this morning I've got to take John, it's half a mile up here to the Jetty, so he can get a flight back to Cairns and then on to Sydney. Yeah, we anchored pretty far away from everywhere else, so we had plenty of swing room, because here you sort of tend to swing, you'll go 180 but sometimes like 360, so you've got to. I put out all my chain, as you see up there. I put a fender on the back of the anchor. Getting back into these tropical areas where you don't really know what's in the anchorages. It could be lots of submerged old logs, or mainly like old mooring buoys, blocks of concrete and bits of chain and that have been left around. And so yeah, I tend to put the fender on a piece of floating rope down to the back of the anchor. The rollover bar on the rockners are good for that. You just tie it on there, and then if your anchor gets stuck, you can just pull it up by that rope. It'll sort of reverse it out, instead of trying to pull the tip up through whatever's jammed. Anyway, we're going to have a chat to John. He's leaving us today, so we'll go and chat with him, see how his trip went.
Whatever it is.
So John, last morning on Trade Runner, how was your trip? What are your feelings?
Well, it was a pretty fucking awesome trip. Oops. Pretty awesome trip. The sailing was amazing. We had all sorts of sailing, fast, cruisy, most consistent winds, unbelievable. And the anchoring on remote islands, and learning all about anchoring in coral reefs, navigating around little coral islands and sand cays and stuff. It was just amazing. And yeah, what an experience. I feel really privileged.
So that was 3 weeks though. Did it go fast or slow for you?
It went really fast, actually, and I'm actually it seems weird to actually stop.
Yeah.
I could definitely go months more, I think. I could definitely see living on board.
Well, that's the point, right, for you?
Yeah.
Retiring soon?
This is just a little taster of what life's got in store for me, I hope.
Yeah. So is Denny going to let you keep that beard when you get home?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can sort of see how long I've been on the boat by the length of my beard.
And the brownness of your legs, arms and face.
Yeah, I guess I probably got a little darker.
And did you lose any weight like you
I
planned?
don't know, I think I did actually.
Yeah. I guess Denny will tell you that too.
Yeah, you should be kind.
Yeah. So what's your main takeaway, like technically sailing wise, with the boat? Was it like you thought, like sailing on a cat?
I actually thought, well, because we almost had exclusively downwind sailing, it was all reaching, and I was surprised at how many miles and how fast you go with just a screecher, I think, and how easy it was, and how fast it was. This extra speed that allowed you to surf the waves a lot better made such a difference over a monohull.
Yeah.
And just the, I think by the end we were doing all the sail handling like a well-oiled machine,
Yeah.
and it was really easy to furl and unfurl the screecher and the jib, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, over this 3 weeks, we pretty much used all sail combinations. We had upwind, we had downwind, we had double-headed, we had spinnaker.
oh, yeah.
But to me, what surprises me about the cat is with all of those different combinations, the feeling, the attitude of the boat doesn't really change. Like compared to a mono, like from going hard upwind to straight downwind on a mono is so different, as in the heeling and the motion. Whereas
Yeah.
this boat doesn't really change much.
Yeah, that upwind section from what was it?
Cooktown.
Cooktown
Yeah.
was just you're just flying along, and it just felt really comfortable. And it's not like hold on for grim death
No.
kind of situation. It was very chilled.
Yeah. No, it was
No
pretty-
launching off of waves.
Some sprays, but
Some
not.
spray,
and
but-
the slapping, what was your expected?
Very little slapping, actually. I was expecting more. I mean, very occasionally you get a slap, and it was a little bit unusual, but it certainly wasn't any kind of worry at all. So I would be totally happy with the kind of bridge deck clearance you've got on this boat.
Yeah, well,
It was
you
just
have,
like
you have
random-
more, but this is enough.
Yeah, this was enough. It was only when you got some kind of weird wave combination that
Yeah.
you managed to hit the bridge deck.
Yeah.
And it
All
seemed
right.
solid as hell. So the boat really treated us well.
Yeah. Well, long may it continue.
Yes, long may it continue. Good luck on the rest of your voyage.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming along and helping out with this leg, and maybe we'll see you up in Southeast Asia in a couple of years.
I believe you might.
We'll give you a race.
Yeah, it'll be a race.
You can give us a decent-sized handicap, I think, with your speedy. Maybe on the first day we've got you when you're still figuring it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We drop a spinnaker in the water. You'll get us.
All we'll hear across the bay is Denny shrieking.
Slow down!
Slow down!
You're gonna kill us, John.
Yeah. All right, sweet. Well, let's get to the airport.
All right.
At this moment, I'd like to thank John and all the other crew members I had on this leg up the east coast. It's great to meet you all, and I hope you all learned something about sailing catamarans.
Hello everyone, I'm interrupting the video just for a small moment. I would like to talk to the patrons we have. We have already advertised on social media, but I think it's good to remind in the video. We printed few postal cards, quite big ones, with our favorite pictures of this last year's, and also a few of my design. And we would like to offer that to you, all the supporters, before Christmas. And for that we need your postal address. And for the moment we didn't have a lot of feedback about that. I think we have probably around 10 persons who write to us. So if you can reach by mail, info@vernondeck.com, and tell us what is your postal address, we can send you a bunch of these cards. Really nice quality. It was super nice to go through them and rewatch all these good memories, and having them in paper is really special. It's better than just watching on the screen. Like, there's some really huge pictures of them.
Probably most of you who watch the videos by now know that I am a photographer by trade, so I do love taking these pictures. And nowadays with digital pictures, everything just gets stuffed on a hard drive, and you sort of just like, oh, that was amazing, and then it's gone, it's on a hard drive. And when Marie started looking back through these and picking these pictures out, you know, the memories and they're pretty cool. Having things on print is really different than just seeing them on a screen. So it'd be cool to get this bunch out to the patrons. But also we'll be making these digital backgrounds and screensavers for your phones and computers and things like that, and there'll be a pack of them available for everyone actually on the Patreon website as well. So probably in a week or so you can go there and download them for your own use.
Also, to all of our patrons, we had quite a bad surprise this month. We realized that Patreon, the platform, had a kind of breakdown or a bug or updates, who in fact refused a lot of way of payments recently. And these last 3 months we realized that a lot of you supporters are not able to give any money to us anymore because of these changements. And in fact, more than half of our supporters are not supporting us for the moment. The last 3 months we had way less money. And yeah, it would be really nice of you, if you want to continue, to just check if your way of payment is still working. And if you are updating it, just check that it's the right tiers also, because it seems that by default it's going to the smallest one. And of course, if you are not wanting to continue to support for any reasons, we completely understand in the actual climate and economic things were turning in this world. You can have a moment you want to take a break and there's no problem at all. But if you want to continue, just that would be super nice, then you check that. If you want to know if you are still paying, at the end of this video, when we have all the credits and we are thank you for all your supports, if your name is in blue, it's actually that your payment has been declined. Again, we really appreciate your support and it's really important for us. Thank you to be behind us, because making this video every week is quite a big job. As you know, it's taking us a lot of time, and we are really happy that some of our viewers are realizing how it's taking our time. And yeah, that's awesome to have you behind us to support all these productions because we could not continue if it was for free.
Alright, so I'm back on board now. I'm just getting the boat shipshape to leave. John's in at the airport now, probably getting on his plane. And we're off to the next phase of this trip. Pretty excited. This is obviously the end of this video. It's also the end of a pretty big section actually. About a bit more than a year ago probably, I sailed through here, anchored just close to here. I was on Schiehallion obviously then, and in that time we've sailed, well, all the way down south to Port Stephens, sold Schiehallion, bought Trade Runner, sailed down to Eden, all the way back up now. So we've sailed the entire east coast of Australia. Didn't make it to Tasmania unfortunately, but we saw a lot of other things, and yeah, this is the jumping off point now. I'm going on alone from here. That'll be in the upcoming videos obviously, but thanks for watching this video. This is just the end of the east coast, the end of John being on board. Hope you enjoyed what he had to say about his experiences. He was a good crewmate, logical, good way of working, cooked, well, A1 cook, cooked a lot of stuff, but you guys would have seen that in another video I made in Sydney when he had made pizzas and things. So Italian blood, John Pedretti, good cook. Thanks for that. And yeah, thanks very much again, patrons. Very, very stoked as always. Hope you guys are keeping up and enjoying the footage we're putting out. Heard from Marie this morning, she's doing very well. I said to her, until now I've basically just been going north and not really getting closer to her, but from today onwards, every day I sail, I'm going west basically, slightly north, but mostly west, and I'm getting closer to her every day sailing now, so she's feeling more comfortable at that. I'm not going to have any internet or you know, tracking or anything until I get to Darwin, but that's okay. That's all coming up. I'm sure it'll be good. I've got a lot of trust in Trade Runner now. We've been through 30 knot winds, we've had up to 20 knots nearly of speed, and I'm trusting Tradie. I'm doing good. Alright guys, we'll see you next week. It'll probably be a scheduled post maybe. It'll still be out on a Tuesday at some stage, and we'll see you then. Hope you enjoy. Take care guys. Bye bye.